has been so positive. And I don't think this approach really reflects what he has presented over the past few years. So I'm disappointed, and I just don't think we can, anybody, whether it be that football team or the other 31 teams, start allowing players to step in and make decisions, who runs them, who coaches them, and all these kinds of things. And I used to ask players about coaches and stuff like that they had worked for on other teams and that kind of stuff, just to get insight, but not to, and actually to add to my education and knowledge about people, but to get to the point where you're sort of demanding you want to say, I think is beyond the NFL player's contract.
Bart?
Well, what is beyond his contract? This is the ultimate get off my lawn type of dude. Like, he has to understand, man, that evolution is happening, and the athlete now is responsible not only for, what he's able to do, but he makes other people money as well. Look at what his impact is in the Houston area. We know when LeBron James left Cleveland how much money he provided for downtown Cleveland. And then, listen, this is what I don't get. Everybody seems to have a comment on Deshaun Watson, what he wants to do and what his wishes are. He's trying to say, I want to take control of my narrative. I believe that this is a dysfunctional organization that let Bill O'Brien run it into the ground, and I'm not going to stay around in my prime years. I mean, it was negligent what they were doing to him his first couple of years when he was getting beat down because they couldn't protect him at the offensive line. But, Dick Vermeil is outraged, and he has a comment on it. But I haven't heard anybody have a comment on Matthew Stafford deciding to say, guess what? I'm done here in Detroit. Everybody wished him well and let him off. I wonder what's the difference. Everybody has something to do when the African-American quarterback says, hey, I want to get up and I want to leave. I want to take control of my narrative. You guys made promises to me. I want to leave. Everybody has a problem with it. Everybody has a comment. I haven't heard anybody. Matthew Stafford asked to be released, and his wishes were granted within 2 weeks. Deshaun Watson asks the same. Everybody has an issue with the African-American quarterback deciding to say, hey, I want to leave. I wonder what the difference is. I know what the difference is. I wonder if Dick Vermeil understands his unknown bias.
We always have that subconscious bias, that sort of thing that we don't think is there but is always there because it shapes all of us in everything we do, not just in sports opinions but in life.
No, I was going to say this too, Key. Nobody, I just want to understand, I know Bill O'Brien is an Alabama assistant coach now, but he hasn't said anything. I've heard anybody from the organization say anything. I think that's the one thing I wish I would hear from Deshaun. Deshaun is just about what got it to this point? Because I think before you can say you're disappointed, you need to understand contextually how did it get to this point before you can make a comment on saying I'm disappointed by it.
Well, I think Bart and Z and Jay, we had Rick Smith on a couple weeks ago, and he's the former general manager of Houston, Texas, who drafted Deshaun Watson. And so he kind of gave us a little bit of insight how it got to where it is today. And you hit it right, Bart, about the praise of Matthew Stafford being able to kind of orchestrate his move from a Detroit team that he had been at for 12 years and hadn't won at all, and realized, I can't continue to stay there. I need to move. So you are correct. There's been no noise about that. That's because, though, he's liked, right? The story is you've been buried in Detroit. You've been a stand-up guy for so many years. We feel bad for you. Now you have the opportunity to go win a championship with a better team. And they want to change, as I mentioned to Rick Smith a couple weeks ago, Bart, is this narrative about Deshaun Watson was coming. We were going to start to hear the negative responses from people about Deshaun. It's the way it always goes. He's not, don't say anything. The moment that he starts to say something, then it's going to switch and people are going to look at it as a negative.
I mean, look at what happened in Detroit. They got worse to grant his wish. They're not a better team with Jared Goff. They took a broken quarterback that they had to give the answers to the test before the damn play, and the coach got tired of it. And they gladly took that contract and brought him over to grant his wish. Now watch what happens in a couple of weeks when J.J. Watt, Captain America, says, hey, you know what, I don't want to spend my last year here. I want an opportunity to go win a championship. Watch what they do with that. They're going to roll out the red carpet. They're going to give him a parade. made, and everybody's going to applaud and thank him for his services. But when the African-American quarterback kind of says, hey, I want out, the CEO of a company, they have an issue with that. And listen, people don't understand their bias sometimes and they're outraged. But all I'm saying is, if you're going to have that energy for Deshaun Watson, have that same energy for Matthew Stafford, have that same energy for Aaron Rodgers, who was saying it's a beautiful mystery.
Let me ask you this before we let you go. Give me a prediction of Super Bowl 55. Who wins and why?
It's crazy for me, man. I wonder what intel was gathered when you think about what happened in the first game. You talk about using people's learning against you. I think that Tampa is going to squeak it out. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be 31-27.
And I know throughout the course of the day, all of our folks are putting together all the predictions from all of our analysts, and you can find that later today on ESPN.com if you're out there listening, from all of our NFL folks. Bart giving his prediction early this morning. Tons more to come later online. Bart,
all right, thick neck.
All right, Smoke. Darkness, everybody. Darkness.
All right, B. Scott.
Bart Scott, keeping it real. The only way he knows how to do it. Great points there, especially on Matthew Stafford, and we'll wait to see.
I didn't even think about the Matthew Stafford. I was focused in on Elway, Manning, the trades, those sort of things, but I never even thought about the Matthew Stafford thing.
And the ultimate.
Yeah,
go ahead, Jay.
Exactly, Zubin. Business is business, guys.
And the ultimate
business is business.
juxtaposition. If he is right about what happens to J.J. Watt, and we're getting the same team with two completely divergent ways of treating guys, that is going to cause something. Let's see if it happens to Captain America, which Key got a little bit of a...
Captain America.
Patrick's in California. I've been doing this show long enough, so Key probably wants to know where you're calling from in California.
Hey.
Thank you. I've been paying attention.
Hold on. Patrick in California.
Oh, here comes one of Key's guesses.
From Central California.
I'm calling from Roseville, California. Man, your show is awesome.
Where's Roseville? Where's it at in California?
We're about maybe 30 minutes north of of Sacramento.
Okay.
So you're a little further north,
So,
okay.
Yeah, so
yes,
where
north
I lived,
of Sacramento.
I was a Viking, so my school was the home of Danny Buns, and then right across was Teddy Bruschi with Roseville.
Great stuff.
Roseville Tiger.
Brewski's going to join us this morning at 7:30. We got to run. We got a half minute. You're just up against it. I know we want to hear from you. You say Mahomes. Give us your quick Super Bowl prediction. We'd love to just get you on the record.
I'm going to go with what I've really. I think it's going to be 27-24 Kansas City.
27-24
Wow.
Kansas City, and he helped me with the promo because his guy, Teddy Bruschi, is going to be with us this morning at 7:30 Eastern. So he's going 27-24 Kansas City, and Jay Bart's going, Buck's going to squeaker.
I'm just laughing at Key. The guy's like, yeah, I'm like 30 minutes north of Sacramento. And Key's like, yeah, so you're north. Yeah, okay.
Well, because I'm from the South.